Today, we are going to be doing engraving. Now, I have never engraved before, so this entire video is going to be a learning curve. My goal is to make some engraving tools and learn how to use them. I made this project using a knife sharpening steel that had worn out. I chose this because it should be really hard as it's used to straighten the edge of a knife blade. So I cut my bar down into these 3 small rods, and then I tapered off the end to a square edge. This would give me what I want to do to start. From this point on, I'll just do grinding to get the shape of the cutter that I want for the engraving. So our tools are looking very good, and I'm getting ready to heat treat them. However, we have a problem, and that is my oil is extremely cold. So what I first need to do is preheat my oil so when I stick these in, they don't shatter. The big piece of steel I used to reheat my oil was definitely excessive, but I wanted to see what kind of flames it would make, so thus my using of it. With the tools now hardened, it was time to try them on a piece of brass. It didn't catch as much as I'd hope. Upon inspecting the tools, it became apparent that the steel, in fact, had a very low carbon content and did not harden at all because the corners were rounded on the brass, which should be way softer than hardened steel. Alrighty, it has been a few days since my previous failure to get steel that would actually harden. But in that time, this package has arrived. In this box is a bar of 1/4 inch round 01 steel, meaning that the carbon content of this steel is between 80 points and 100 points of carbon. How do I get it open? It bounces. Why does it bounce? Oh, there we go. Wow. I think they spend more in shipping than the bar is actually worth. So after having remade them with the new steel, it was time to give it another shot. This attempt definitely had some progress. It cut much better, and it was clearly far harder. But then I started to realize just how hard doing this actually was. And so after doodling around for a while, I realized I was going to need a lot of practice. Unfortunately, the ends of 2 of my tools snapped off. This was due to it being just too hard. I didn't end up tempering them, and that was partly because of laziness, but also because I had really no idea what this steel would do. So I decided to not temper it and just see what happened. This time I tempered them by heating them up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Overall, it was pretty gnarly and definitely wasn't the greatest, but with a little practice I should be able to make significant improvement. My goal with this is to try and make a wax seal at some point in time in the future. For kicks and giggles I put it into some wax and I was pretty happy with the results.